Good stuff. All right. Well, I suppose first of all, to get started, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. I got a wee bit emotional last night when I was watching your audition clip. I love the song Tomorrow. Right. I mean, one of the very first musical theatre shows I was ever in was Annie, and
You was
it
in
was
Annie.
not like professional, like school show. It was a school show,
Oh, doesn't matter.
and
It's amazing, isn't it?
I played Rooster, which was a lot of fun. But it took me
Amazing.
right back, and then the way you sang it, the the arrangement, just everything about it was just it. It was just really emotional. The whole thing was, and that's me watching it. How did it feel for you, living through that?
It was it was such a cherished moment for me to go through.
Mhm.
It was um I felt seen while I was doing it completely. I felt seen, I felt heard. It was I didn't know what was going to happen by the end of it, but while I was singing the song, I felt so honest, like I was
Mhm.
laying something out on a table to just be like, look at this sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was a gorgeous moment, despite how it would have gone after I sung it. While I was singing it, it was amazing. It was a moment that I didn't want to end.
Yeah. And you could
Yeah.
see that from the footage as well. Was like there was this. So you've come on stage and you're all bubbly and happy and and all that's there, and then but the second that music starts, you've switched something. Something else has just happened there. Um, can you talk to me about the arrangement and where that came? Is that your own, or did you get that? Was that someone
No,
else's? Like,
that's
where did that come from? That's I've never heard that before.
it's Marisha Wallace.
Uh-huh.
She made this arrangement during lockdown. Um and this version that she recorded, and it went viral. Um and when I heard Marisha Wallace's version, oh, it made me cry, and it brought back all my memories with this song,
Mm-hmm.
because it was the first song that I ever sang. Um and I was obsessed with it. So that's why I done that version, because Marisha
Mm-hmm.
Wallace made it so beautiful. It was beautiful anyway, but the way that you looked at it, the way that I looked at that version as an adult, it really spoke to me. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it now has a complete different meaning, you know?
That's funny you should say that because I mean, that's what I'm all about, right? That's kind of the way I am. Like tomorrow is it's literally it's only a day away. You know, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what happens today, you can go to sleep tonight, and you open your eyes tomorrow, it's a fresh start. Something
Absolutely.
there, and that is
Amen to
that's
that.
that's yeah, that's the life of being like even as a child, but as a grown up as well. Like it's just tomorrow's there. That's why I love that song as well. It just and then your tomorrow has been wild since
Oh,
then. I do want to talk about that in a wee minute, but I want to stick to the audition at the moment because something that stood out to me as well was Simon's initial reaction when you said, "I'm singing tomorrow" from Annie. How did you feel when you got that? When I don't know if you've seen the eye roll or if you heard it when you were on stage. How did you feel when he eventually expressed, I don't like that song?
wow. It was sort of like, well, I haven't got another one, so this is what you're getting, sort of thing. And I refused in that moment to let that get to me. I think, because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, of course you don't like it. It's the song that I picked, and of course you don't like it. I was just like, oh, okay, okay, let's try and change his mind. You know,
Oh my
that's.
god, and you did as well.
I'm so happy I did. I really had to breathe, to try and focus myself and not focus on the fact that I felt instantly.
Mhm.
like I've set myself up to fail, or I was like, oh, blimey, just your luck that he doesn't like it. And the pressure just went boom. And I was like, no, no, because this is going to be my last rodeo, really, because I
Mhm.
was going to stop the industry. So I kind of refused to let it bother me any more than it did in that moment,
Mhm.
because I just wanted to sing and feel this song. And I'm so relieved it read and it translated. And I'm so relieved he liked it in the end.
And you could tell as well that it wasn't just him that you were feeling, that entire room, their reaction to your singing, but also you could tell that you were feeling it and you could feel the love coming back as well.
No, 100%. That room was beautiful. It was stunning. I
Is
was
that
very lucky. I've never had an audience like that.
mhm. Is
And
that an
I've
experience
never stood on a
you'll never ever go back to? Like, is that one of the experience that you'll never ever ever forget?
no, never. I felt very vulnerable, and
Mhm.
it was such a gorgeous feeling being vulnerable with a crowd like that.
Mhm.
It was very frightening going on being yourself. It took for me to be finished with the industry to be brave enough to do that, I
Mhm.
think. But it was such a gorgeous feeling knowing that you're being yourself and you're being heard.
Mhm.
I want everyone to feel like that one day, because it's a lovely feeling.
Why were you done with the industry?
Because I want to be a mother at
Oh
some point.
wow.
At some point,
Mhm.
um, and to be a mother, you need stability.
Mhm.
um, so I've spent all these years, all I ever thought about was theatre,
Mhm.
performing myself, my voice, training, practicing, auditioning, sacrificing important dates if I've ever been on a job, trying to build up experience on the CV to try and hopefully get that proper break.
Mhm.
If you want to be a mum, you can't be selfish anymore. And it was a pretty good reason to stop, to be honest.
Mhm.
I was retraining. I need to finish my course to do personal training, which I also love exercise and moving. I've played rugby all my life, so it seemed like a pretty good alternative that I'd
Mhm.
still be happy. So yeah, I did. I was during the audition. I had my first week of my course in the same week.
Right.
I passed my physical. Woo! I still need to put. I need to give in my coursework like now. But yeah, I wanted stability to try and save and maybe move on a little bit. I would have
Mhm.
never have stopped singing. I can't stop singing. But I would have done it. I would have done it in pubs and events that I could. You know.
Yeah. It's mad because I can hear what you're saying about, there's a bit of heartbreak almost in the industry that you're in. And the fact that you have been fighting so hard and you were ready to give up. And just that break came just when you needed it. But you've been fighting for so long as well, just to get that break. What's your story like before BGT? In terms of auditions and working the West End, and I mean, I know there was some speculation about what you did in the past, but what is your? Oh, don't worry, we're going to talk about that. I can see your eyes. Don't worry, I'm going to bring that up. But what is your story before Britain's Got Talent?
So I went to college when I was just 16, graduated when I was 18, and then I was out in the big scary world of theatre. So then I was auditioning.
Mm-hmm.
I booked a cruise ship when I was 19, which was the best thing for me. Gained friends and experience. I come back. Then I think I had a year of auditioning and being a cleaner, and teaching and doing every job to get by. And then I booked Lazarus, which was an off West End production. It was a David Bowie musical, and that was for 5 months, 5 or 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It ran for at the King's Cross, which isn't the West End, guys. How much I would have wanted to say that was a West End, but
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed because it wasn't. Unbelievable. So that was off West End, and then I think I had another year jobless, performing wise,
Mm-hmm.
auditioning, working in a pub, any job that I could get. Again, think I was cleaning still. And then I got another cruise ship, which is when it was on Royal Caribbean. I played Rizzo in Greece on the ship, which was amazing. I came back, and then quite quickly, within 2 months, and I was very lucky. And after 6 rounds of auditioning and being cut and then called back, I got offered to be a swing at Starlight in Germany, Starlight Express. So then I was there on and off for 4 years
Mm-hmm.
because we'd have COVID happened, come home, and then I just wasn't getting in the room to be seen for West End. No one was leaving their West End jobs. You just couldn't get in.
Mm-hmm.
You literally could not get in. And then when you do audition, there's thousands of you, and there's always somebody that's possibly more right for a role than you. So I went back to Germany. They asked me to help out, to come back as a swing. People got injured, and I said yes. I just want to be on stage. Please take me back. So I went back to Germany, and then I moved back 2 years ago now. Well, it was the June before. Yeah, June before the January of the audition. Year
Mm-hmm.
and a half. There we go. And then I auditioned for BGT, and wow, the rest is history. But
It
in
really is.
in 10 years, I worked 4 jobs.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is one thing I want to ask you about is that amount of rejection can't be good for you. I mean,
No.
I work in radio, and I have been told no so many times when it comes to being in radio, and that's more just to do with my speaking voice and like, a wee bit like personality and stuff. But for you to go into these auditions and put your entire soul on the line to these people, and then just to be constantly told no like that. I mean, obviously with BGT being your last go at things, did it drive you down a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you don't just go to one audition, you go to about 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get recalled, and you feel like you're getting there, and then sometimes you don't even hear. And then the cast list goes up,
Yeah.
and you're like, you joking me? At least give me a bell. At
Yeah.
least call me up and tell me you didn't get it. Yeah, it's been a lot
Mm-hmm.
over the 10 years. It's been a lot. And
So
yeah.
So you had your audition, and everybody actually even before it aired. How did you feel the audition? Obviously, you got your golden buzzer, but how did you feel that it was going to be received when it went out? Were
Not
you
like the way that it was.
really?
No, I stood on that stage to everyone in the room for 7 minutes speaking about my career,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm trying to get into the West End, that I just finished Starlight in June, and then it was a whole thing. Bruno was like, "And you're still alive?" Like, because
Yeah,
obviously Starlight's on roller skates. Like, it was a whole
yeah,
thing. It just didn't get aired, because there's just simply not enough time for the
yeah.
whole thing. And my clip, I wouldn't change my clip for for the world. Like, it
Mhm.
was gorgeous, and you can't put all the information in. You just put the highlights. My name's Sydney, this, that, and the other. I want to be on the West End. Here's my audition. That's basically. But people just take something and they run with it, don't they? I got
Mhm.
the fraud, fix. Don't know what they're on about. It's such a shame, because it was such a beautiful moment in my life.
Mhm.
And then people, oh, no words, no words. You know, you waited a moment for your whole life. I refuse to let that be the highlight of it. You know, there were so many people that were so kind and like loving and supportive, but then there was a big chunk of people that were really nasty.
And it was based on. It wasn't even based on fact, was it? I remember I read
No,
something before that you had said that these people are making up or are coming to conclusions based on nothing.
the wrong facts.
Yeah.
Completely. Like, I ain't a liar, and I
Mhm.
don't like being called a liar. But people, they see something on telly or they read something and they wholeheartedly believe it. It's not that. No, it's not that at all. What can I say? Like, I tell them.
Yeah.
I did go through a phase of trying to correct people in a kind way,
Mhm.
being like, no, because it's also not their fault. They're being told. I don't know. I have no idea. The press, everything, so it gets onto something, don't they? So
Yeah.
I tried to correct them, and then they still turn around and go, liar! Like
Is
I'm
that
out to
something
get
you need
them.
to learn as a celebrity? And I know you probably don't like that word, but as a celebrity and as someone in the public eye now, is that something that you need to learn to kind of just
Yeah,
let
because
go
people
of?
think, well, because you're in the public eye, you actually have to take my opinion. No, I don't. Block. No, I don't. Because it's simply not right. You ain't going to
Mhm.
tell me my life that I have lived through. So bye, block. But I just refuse now.
Good.
It was a very hard thing to learn, and I didn't want to learn that. I was mortified.
Mhm.
Like, the most of the British public were just amazing. They were supportive, and I owe it all to them. But there was a big chunk of people that should be ashamed of themselves. Like, I would never wish the way that they treated me on their daughters.
Why is it so difficult to ignore people like that? Like I mean, I'll give you an example. My one is I've got a children's book out, and I'm
Mm.
looking at it right now. It's up there. That's why I'm looking at it. And when it got to number one, my Amazon stars are sitting at like 4.5, and I've got like hundreds and hundreds of 5-star reviews. But that one review, that one, it's just bringing me down to 4.5. That's the one that I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
And it bothers me. And then you've got the entire country behind you. I mean, at the end of the day, you won this competition. People voted for you. People love you. But our human instinct is to just to focus on these ones that are going. Well, no, it was a fix, wasn't it?
Oh, of course, definitely in this profession that I'm in. What every profession, like you just said yourself, is we live in a world of perfect right now. Perfect social media, life perfect, everything perfect. So it's difficult to see criticism, isn't it? Also,
Mhm.
I don't mind, taste. I'm not everyone's taste, and I understand that, and that's completely natural and normal. Everyone has their own ear and what they like and don't like. But when people are outright nasty, this is where we have a problem.
Mhm.
That is not all okay. Who taught people that that's okay? But not everyone is like me or thinks like that. I think it's a shame, and I'd hate, because it was adults doing this.
Mhm.
I'm fearful for what they're teaching the children. I'd hate for kids to go through this, and I think this is why children have all this problem in school. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's hard. I don't mind. Obviously, people go, your voice is just not for me. That's fair. That's fair enough. You know, even I have an ear. Like, there's some voices that I pull to and they're not. But then when, people comment on, I don't know, the way you're person.
Yeah. They don't know you.
No, don't know me from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't
So
be like that to them. It's just
let's
crazy.
go. Let's switch to a bit of positivity then. Okay. So you had your audition. You waited for a long time for it to air. It aired, and then the entire country fell in love with you. From that Saturday night until the Sunday morning, was that Saturday that it aired? Whatever day it was, whatever day that aired. From
Saturday.
that,
Yes.
yeah. So from that Saturday night to the Sunday morning, and then going forward, what were the biggest differences in your life between then?
On that, biggest differences. Waking up, I felt awful. One, I had a hangover because
Of course, yeah.
we had a viewing party. Of course, I had all my family and friends around. But waking up with the negativity, like
Okay, yeah.
massive, like news lines, like not news lines,
Headlines,
but
yeah.
headlines,
Yeah.
news lines, headlines. And also on a positive, seeing this video go viral.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, like it just took off. And so you can imagine very mixed emotions. I felt quite
Mm-hmm.
unwell. And I didn't know, I was laying on the sofa and I was like, I don't know how to process this. And my mum was like, are you okay? And I was like, I probably need a paracetamol, but I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. I don't know whether this is good thing or bad thing. What have I done?
Mm-hmm.
Because last night it was the best moment of my life, and now I'm not sure. Am I ready? Do I care? Like, I need to try and be brave and not care. Trying to, you feel like loads of people are up against you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stand on a platform and be like, guys, this is the truth from my mouth, and me tell you this. I can't do that. There's no opportunity. So I was just sort of existing in my own emotions, trying to figure out what was going on. So it was a shift.
Mm-hmm.
It was a shift.
I can imagine. Did you get any kind of again? Forgive me, and if you know this is something you can't answer, it's fine.
Any help?
Yeah, like aftercare, like from ITV, BGT, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Particularly, they did good.
Yeah, and they were good. I spoke to this lady, like maybe twice, and I'm very good. All I need is perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and she gave me perspective. Thinking about it, the guys from Love Island and them sort of shows, they probably get it so much worse, eh? So she spoke to me with a wise head, and it was a breath of fresh air to listen to her. And I was like, I can do this. Like, it's okay. It's all right. It was also a weird shift, learning that not everyone is like me, because I would just not dare to comment on people, and I simply just don't have an opinion that's a nasty one, but people do. So it was like an eye opener that people are that way.
You
So
can
it's just a
see
massive
that.
learning curve.
Yeah, and you can see as well that it sits with you, doesn't it? It sits quite deeply with you. That it's even now, so further on. My dog is downstairs singing. You can hear
Good.
him.
What's he singing tomorrow?
No, yeah, well, no. Do you know what it is? He loves if you put Baby Shark on the Alexa, he sings along with
Oh,
it. It's such a
Joe.
weird thing. But I can tell that it just sits with you. It sits deeply as well. It's something that
I'm
maybe I'm wrong
disappointed.
that you're struggling to get rid of. You're struggling
Yeah,
to
no,
let go.
I am. I am struggling to get rid of it because I can't believe it. And people go, don't let him get to you. But I'm like angry. I'm like, what? I just can't. I can't believe that people are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't. Just be a better person. Because 9 times out of 10, if you see me in person, you're not going to say this stuff.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's social media these days, and Facebook. Facebook's bad.
Yes. I don't know. Have you had a shot of Twitter yet? Twitter's awful.
Twitter's so bad.
Oh my
I
God.
haven't had Twitter. My account got hacked about 4 years ago, and to be honest, I never really used it, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't bother getting it back. But then, what was going on Twitter, I was really quite relieved.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
have
mean, you're
it
lucky. You're
because I would
lucky.
have looked. I
Yeah.
would have looked if I had it. So all I want to do is make people happy. That
Yeah.
is literally it. And I was clearly not in some circumstances, and I didn't even know I was doing it.
Well, it looks
There
like
we
these
go.
are the people that you're not trying to sell your album to these people. So they don't matter. That's fine.
Yeah, all I
Um.
wanted to, the people, I'm grateful for everybody that supports me, and
Mhm.
I do this for them.
Yeah. So, talk to me about the kind of whole live show aspect of the whole thing. I mean, I can only imagine. I've never done it before, obviously, but I can only imagine that it's like some sort of like a whirlwind, like a dream. If you're looking back in that now, can you visibly see it, or is it all kind of like foggy and all you can see is what you actually watched on TV?
No, it's I can see it. A lot of preparation.
Hmm.
It does seem like a blur, but if I think about it, I can see it.
Hmm.
Um, it was amazing. It was truly an experience that I
Yeah.
won't ever forget. The people working for BGT are amazing. It's so well organised. Um, it was such a grand thing to be a part of. I feel very lucky that I got to experience it. I know people have very different experiences, but mine was brilliant.
Hmm.
Winning or not, I would have walked away and gone, that was what a whirlwind. It took a while to come down from it. I missed
Hmm.
it. I missed having that showmanship, and it was like, it was such a class thing to be a part of.
Now you'll know this actually. There's a thing in theatre world, called post show blues. Now I know from my perspective, now I only do amateur theatre, but I will go out and I'll do 5 nights of. Well,
It's
I'm
the
I'm going to be
exact
doing
same.
Little Shop of Horrors in a few weeks. And oh yeah, but I don't want to get into that. I'm feeling a bit bitter about it. Because I didn't get the part I wanted. Uh,
Story of our lives, mate.
yes, I know. And I'll go out and only do 5 days, and then by the end of it, I'm like, I'll get to the next day after the last day, and I'm like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
What's next? And I can only imagine coming down. I mean, let's imagine like my show is here, right? And BGT must be like way past beyond the screen.
They're all the
Um,
same.
how
Doesn't
was the
matter
come
what
down?
the caliber.
Yeah.
They're all the same. If you simply love what you do,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be amateur, professional, whatever kind of level, if you love what you do and you feel the same, you feel the nerves, you feel the excitement, you feel the preparation. It's They're all the same. I
Yeah.
felt the same BGT as I did when I was younger doing my school play. Now what? That's literally what you
Exactly.
said.
Yeah. Yep.
Now what? Go back
Man.
to work. Like, literally,
Yeah.
you find a
So
new job.
after you won, one of the very next things that you did was you appeared on one. Actually, my close personal friend, Lorraine Kelly. You went on her show. How was that for you?
Amazing. this
She's
I
brilliant, isn't she?
Oh, what a woman.
Yeah.
What a nice woman. Everyone's nice though. Everyone in the industry is nice. I feel like everyone goes through the same stuff, so
Yeah, I get it.
they get it.
Yeah.
They get it. And it's just nice. They're nice. Oh, yeah.
No,
Brilliant.
Lorraine's lovely. She's
She
like
is.
went above and beyond for me a million times. But I've never been on her show. I've got no reason to be on her show. But how was that? How was the overall experience of being that's your first, big interview? Your big. you're on live TV. You've got a professional like Lorraine in front of you. You got your two grannies sitting next to you.
Yeah, that was what I
Um,
was just about to say. Very, very glad I had my comfort blanket with my
mhm,
two nannies with me. And it was such a great experience to like take them
yeah,
on that journey with me.
that would have been a
And
great experience for them.
yeah, they're like they really had like the after show blues. They were like,
Mhm.
now what? Like it's like take us with you still. Do you know what I mean? They're so proud, and I'm so proud that they're mine. Them two.
Yeah. How is talk to me about your relationship with them then? Grandparents are the best, right? Let's just put it out there, right? Grandparents are the best. Even when your own parents become grandparents, then they also then become the best as well.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like a second chance at being a parent all over again, but without all that responsibility. But how is your relationship with your grannies? And how did it become as strong as it is?
Well, I don't know. It's just always been. They've always been there.
Mm-hmm.
Always been there. They've been amazing women that I've looked up to. Always been my support system. Um, just time spent, loads of time spent. Um, and they're amazing in every way. And we argue like ridiculous. We bicker like we're sisters, like we're cackling sisters. They're just so good.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I think being close to a family member, you experience everything, and they understand every emotion
Mm-hmm.
that's in you, and vice versa. It's just yeah. I wish I could see them more. I'm so busy right now, so I
Yeah.
try and see them as much as I can. But then when you do see them, it's so sweet. It's ever so sweet.
It's just real as well, isn't it? It's like so you're in the entertainment industry now, or like the hierarchy of the entertainment industry. So there's a sense of maybe some things that aren't as real as you may think they are, but then your relationship with your grands, and when you get back to them, that's just real life. That's just
Yeah,
that.
and it's like it's so funny. Like when I see them and they want to know everything, I'm like,
Hmm.
oh blimey, I just want a day off and talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just I just want to be Sid for a day and with me nans, but they're so excited. You just offload everything that's happened, what's going on. But also what I'm learning in this industry, it is just work.
Yeah.
Like it is just work. Like you go to events or you go to the NTAs, it's like one big work meeting from
Hmm.
everyone on every side of this industry. It's like having an office meeting. Literally everyone is at work, and that's the beauty of it, that everyone is
Yeah.
just normal. Um, you feel like you know everybody because you've seen them
Hmm.
on the TV of some type. You don't know where you know them from, but everyone's familiar.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Have you
And
ever
it's
met
like,
anybody that you've went, oh my god, you are, and then just totally fangirled out on them?
um, there's loads that I wanted to, but when you're in a room full of like the NTAs was massive.
Yeah.
Like there was everyone there, and I was looking around, and I was like, "What am I doing here?" sort of thing. Um, but I'm not one to be like, "Oh my goodness, it's you, picture," because you can't now because you want to be, you're at work
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That is absolutely the best
you're
way
in
to
the
put it.
office,
Actually. Yeah.
but it's so good looking around and seeing people in the flesh that you inspire to be
Hmm.
like. It's amazing.
Did any of them recognize you? Did anybody go, oh, I know
Yes,
you. You're from
they did.
BTT.
Yeah, they did. A few
That must have been a bit
people.
of a mind.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I know you, and then like, do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's crazy, and they would congratulate me and say, "Well done," and everyone's so nice. Everyone wants everyone to do well. It's just it's brilliant, isn't it? They
Brilliant.
understand how hard it all is. So yeah, and a
I
lot
was
of people
watching.
were asking
Sorry.
about the shift, like
Yeah.
into this life. Like, how are you? Like, how's it going?
And how is it going?
It's great. Oh, very overwhelming. Very
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming. I'm learning because it's a whole different business. It's a different business that I've had to learn, essentially. So I'm learning every day, which is good. I like that. I like grafting. I like being busy. I like working in the profession that I want to work in. So I'm winning.
Exactly.
And long may it continue.
Speaking of winning, I was watching this morning a couple of weeks ago, and there was you were there, and I
Oh,
heard this. Yes, you were there, and I heard the story about them having to chase you to give you your money. What is that about? If someone's
I
offering me 250 grand,
no,
I'm giving them my bank
I needed
details.
it. I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed it. Oh, I think people got the wrong idea with that. I needed
No,
it. Like,
that's not what I meant.
it's just, I was so excited to be
Hmm.
living this life. It only took 2 weeks. They just
Yeah.
kept 3 weeks max. But I was living and living this dream that I
Hmm.
really wanted for a long time. Like, I don't need like much, you know.
Hmm.
As long as I've got my food, like I don't need materialistic things. As long as I'm keeping my head above water with like my bills and stuff, like I'm okay. So I just, that money was always going to go in my savings. Like,
Hmm.
I ever thought, oh, what would I do with that? I have nothing to spend it on. I'd probably spend it on buying a house to have
Hmm.
a family. That is what I will do with that. So it's straight into a savings account for me, and hopefully I'll get a house at some point. Um, but I was living, and that is all that matters to me. And I was singing and performing and all these exciting things. So that's where my mind was, and I was
Hmm.
excited to do that. Like, I knew that was coming, and in my mind, I knew what I was going to do with that. I wasn't going to touch it, and I didn't want to touch it because I want to,
Hmm.
start building a stable life, which I've never been able to do. And then, yeah, that's another thing. Then people go, I'll see comments after that, and people are like, she's selfish. She didn't need that money, and I was like, that's not what I was. That's not what I was saying at all.
So this is where I get this bothers me, and I'm sure it obviously bothers you as well, right? Because my mind didn't go to she doesn't need that money. It's not about doesn't need it. My mind went to like almost like an imposter syndrome type thing. Like, if I give them my bank details and they end up putting that money in my account, that means that I'm in. I am tied in. And almost like you didn't deserve the winning, so you didn't want to give them the back. That's where my mind went. My mind didn't go towards the whole, oh, she's so selfish or that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
loads of people did. Like, she's bragging, and I was like, no, no, no. That just wasn't. They just don't want to know me. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? But I was so blessed. Obviously, that money is going to help me so much, and I'm so grateful for that, because I've never been that stable with
Hmm.
that. Now I've got that in my savings, and I'm like, maybe I can have that family at one point now. You know? See,
Right.
that was the goal for
Mhm.
me. So
That
yeah,
seems like it as well. You can see it in your eyes that every time you talk about having a family, it's just that seems like the new dream. You know what I mean? You've achieved this goal in your life now, and you're like, do you know what? Now's maybe not now's the time, but that's next. And you can see it in your eyes that you that you're just so passionate for that. And when your kids eventually come along, you can also see that they are going to be loved beyond anything. It's and I get that from you. It's such a nice thing to see.
No, I'm
Um,
glad.
talk to me about the album then. My Way.
Yeah.
Did I read right that you actually managed to churn that album out in a day?
Right, so that was the plan.
Okay.
that was the plan. And so we went to Prague and
Mhm.
we recorded with an orchestra, and I recorded everything. And then above that, I had 3 studio days to try vocally fix anything that I didn't like. Because when you're singing, when you're trying to record, and I'm singing each song 4 times to try and get the right cut, I was exhausted in that day.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it. So you have 4 or 5 days to try and do the things that you didn't like, to fix all them things. But then I wasn't happy with the overall sound of the album,
Okay.
and I was like, no, we need more time, because no, you need artistic space to be able to go wrong before you go right,
Right.
you know. And I asked for some more time because I wanted it. You know, you don't get a debut album again, so I wanted
Yeah.
it to be something that I was happy with. So then got extended for 2 weeks, and I was like, yes, brilliant. And then we had an extra 2 weeks, so 3 weeks, I'd say, to finish an album, which still is ridiculous time. I've never felt stressed like it. And it was a different stress to the BGT. I feel like every stress that I'm going through is like a different kind of stress. So I'm very proud of where we got with it. And it's covers, and you know, especially what I like to do is take songs and put the Sydney Kiss on them, and take old songs and figure out how to put them into the new as such, while keeping them old. Like it's a process. I was initially trying to make 9 My Ways on, and My Way took me ages to get right. It took us ages to get right, me and my vocal coach. And I was like, this is impossible. But I'm really proud what this album represents, and I'll probably cry when I see it in front of me, because you know, it's everything, isn't it? And it's such
Yeah.
a it's a cool introduction to maybe to who I am, or was now. Who I was, my journey, hence My Way. Every
Love it.
song has a meaning of why it's
Yeah.
on there.
And then when the album comes out, or around about that time, you're also going on tour. And I
Yep,
believe
the
you're actually
album
you're
comes
coming up
out.
My Way as well, aren't you? Oh, My Way. See, we did it again.
Yeah, there you go. See? So the album comes out October, start of October, and then we go on tour February.
Oh, brilliant. And then you're coming up to Glasgow as well, which is good. So I need to
I
make sure that I
am.
get there to come along and watch the show, which is good.
Oh,
It'll
please
be
do.
brilliant. It'll be brilliant. Hey, listen, if you want to offer me some comps, I'll be there. I'll be in the front row. If you say,
Yes,
Chris,
mate.
yeah, done. Good. We've got that recorded, by the way, just so it's on.
Yeah.
It's recorded, so that's it. I told you we'd be best friends by now. Um,
We've had a roller coaster of emotions in
do you
this.
know what? It's been
This.
mad. I do want to, and I know we're kind of going on a bit here, but I do want to ask you about your relationship with music and mental health. This is a mental health podcast, right? And I'm very passionate about mental health, and given
Me too.
the journey that I've been through. But music for me is the one thing that just it always makes me feel better. It always makes me feel. I've got on my Alexa back there. I'll just say their name. I've got like a dopamine playlist that's
Yeah.
just songs that make me feel happy and that. What if you had a dopamine playlist? Maybe you do. What would be on yours?
Oh, I'm obsessed with lyrics.
Oh, right,
And
awesome.
I am obsessed with lyrics. Lyrics and music is it's like, it's a way of saying things. Like you'd write a song and you'd say things in a song you wouldn't say, you wouldn't talk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think so clever. It's so clever. Like for me, I would rather write a song about how I feel and it be the most deepest, darkest thing you've ever listened to, rather than sitting here going and talking to you about it. It feels so much more vulnerable and
Mm-hmm.
frightening, but I'd happily sing it to you. So I'm obsessed with lyrics. There is so many genres and so many artists that write lyrics that I am obsessed with. And they're coming all the time. They're coming out the woodworks. There is so many
Mm-hmm.
people, even people unknown, that I'll listen to songs all the time, and I'm like, oh, that hit me.
Yeah.
That really resonated with me. Well done. You know, like, yeah, I'm obsessed with lyrics. I love Frank, Elvis, Doris Day. Like the lyrics back then, like were very different to like the style now,
Yeah.
but still amazing.
There's something really simple about it back then, but it was simple
Yes.
but beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, no, you talk about Elvis. I'm a massive Elvis fan as well. Oh my goodness, I am
Did you
so
watch his
disappointed.
movie? As soon as
Uh,
his movie come
yeah.
on and the flashes of lights, I was with my boyfriend for about 2 weeks at this point, and I
Mm-hmm.
just sobbed from the start of that film to the end. And he was like, "Babe, are you okay?" And I was like, "No," because I love him.
Yeah. Same. I am. I mean, I'm very grateful for living in the time that I'm living in just now. The only disappointment is not living through his time.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
Amen to
it's
that.
mad.
I
There's a
would have
cracking
been.
video because you like Sinatra, don't you? You love, yeah, you
Yeah.
do. Have you seen the video with Elvis and Sinatra singing together? I think they're singing a mashup of "Love Me Tender" and something else. It's a beautiful, beautiful video. Have you ever seen it?
Can you send it to me?
Of course, aye. It is. Oh my! Honestly, wait until you see it. It is
How have I
amazing.
missed that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra, and they're singing "Love Me Tender," and then it meshes into one of Sinatra's songs. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, I'll send it over. I'll send it through. I'll send it through Sarah. Um,
I'm now bubbling with excitement at the fact that there's still something out there that I haven't seen of them.
yeah,
You must
this is
send it
just
to me straight away.
this is just us having a conversation now. But I want to bring to light another thing for you. Now I've got no. I'm not into like conspiracy theories and stuff, right? But I've always wondered, what if he was still here? You know,
Yeah,
there's a guy in America called Bob Joyce,
right.
who, if you didn't know any better, I would have said that it's him, Elvis. Um, it's the way he sings, the way he looks, everything. Honestly, I'll go and look him up. Like he's on like TikTok and stuff. Um,
Bob
and
Joyce.
Bob Joyce is his name. Uh, you're you're looking for a device to do it right now, aren't you?
Yeah. I was looking for a pen because if I lose this name, I'm going to be so annoyed.
I don't worry. I'll send it over as well. I'll send
Okay.
it over in the email. All right. I'll cut all that out. I want to talk now. It's just to wrap up. Then, tell us about like when the album's coming out. What can we expect from it? And also just very briefly talk about your anticipations of the Royal Variety performance.
So my way album, my way album, is like an introduction to me. There's I have many different styles to what everyone see on BGT. That was very Park and Bark Sid, which I love, but also there's more styles. Like I love old school funk. Oh, I love, you know, I love like R&B. There's so many different R&B is not on there, but I love musical theatre. But
Hmm.
like songs from these different genres that I've tried, that I have memories with, that I've tried to put on this album. Um, show different sides to my voice as well.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited for that, and every song on the album has a meaning, whether it's to do with a loved one, it's like a special memory, you know, a time in my life, or same with the tour. The My Way tour is going to be a more in depth. There's so many songs that I couldn't put on that album because there simply weren't time or space on that album. But so in the tour, it will be in more detail about my way, my journey to here, which is amazing. The Royal Variety performance is just around the corner. I am so excited for that. I could faint. I still don't know what I'm doing for it yet, but that's the exciting point. I have meetings in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I think I want to see as well what does well on the album, because like there's songs that I think will do well, but then I don't know what I'm doing. So maybe the other song that I think won't do too well does well, you know.
Yeah.
And I ultimately want to give people what they want to hear.
Is
So,
it your
well,
choice?
hopefully they want to hear something.
Yeah. Is it your choice then? What you sing at the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. And I
Yeah,
don't even
like,
think you would let them make the choice for you. I can tell that just by your personality. You're like, nah, I'm making this choice. It's mine.
yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, if I'm lost for ideas, they definitely put suggestions in and they're like, this will work. But there's no way that I'm doing something that, you know, has no value to who I am. You know, I love everything to have a meaning. That's the beauty of being in the industry. We're in the arts. So we need to keep it
Darling.
there.
In the arts, darling.
We're in the arts, darling.
Yes.